I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch.
Indeed, a child shall lead them.
Buy our merch.
Would you be down for a winter solstice themed stream? Yes. Yeah, well, you could see from Soraya's, hi, Amy Lee's here. Amy, I got a cool update for you if you're up later or earlier. I don't know. Because I'll be up. Okay. Christians, gotta love them. Yes, you do have to love us. You do, because one day we're going to rule the world, so you need to be nice to us. All right, guys, this
Afghan
is...
Whigs, Gentleman is the name of the song.
Afghan Whigs.
Oh.
Or Whigs, whatever. And the name of the song is Gentleman. This one has lyrics on it, and it's not official, so it's not going to destroy our channel. And your boy Vinny gets to focus a little bit more, and I don't have to copy and paste lyrics because you guys know how we get down with the lyrics. The Afghan Whigs, Gentleman, let's go!
Your attention, please.
Oh.
So that is I guess I wrote Gentleman in Tampa after a sound check, and the band went to eat, and I stayed at the club, played guitar by myself, which I did often. That's where I got the riff. Later on, I was walking down the town, Ybor City, I guess. I had the riff in my mind, and I started to formulate the lyrics as I was walking around.
Wow.
The song was written pretty quickly.
Wow.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
There is nothing like sitting down with your guitar, man. And I finally found the headphone jack for my guitar, so I'm really gonna have a very, very good night tonight. I'm very much looking forward to tonight. But that's very interesting. It's really weird, like the songwriting process, because sometimes like you put like so much time and hours into a song, and whenever you do that, even if people don't like the song, you're still happy with it. At least I am. Like, I'm still happy with it because it's like there's like it's so corny. It's a journey. There's a journey that you go on with the song and with your instrument. And it's the weird relationship guitarists have with their instrument, which is really crazy because it's like you kind of anthropomorphize it. You kind of turn into another person. Your guitar becomes your best friend because you can play these notes and you know what the note means, and the guitar knows what the note means. Nobody else knows what the note means. And then now you've got this relationship with this instrument that, of course, if I would have said this to you a year ago, I'd have said I'm speaking metaphorically. Now I'm not exactly sure that I'm speaking metaphorically. So one of the cool things about the scientists I've been listening to for the last 3 months is that they have put a whole bunch of color back into the world for me. So shout out to those crazy, and they're not all quantum physicists either. That's the other thing that was mind blowing to me. I used to think it was only the quantum physicists that were into crazy shit, but it's almost every field now. But anyway, I just thought that was a cool quote from the guy because it's pretty cool. All right, so go ahead. What were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything. Your attention, please. Now turn off the light. Your infection, please. I haven't got all night. I'm not sure, honestly, what he's talking about in this song. I liked the sloppiness of the song.
What do you mean?
Just like musically, it kind of felt a little sloppy. The vocal style, the instrument, but like that sort of sloppy that I like. I don't know how else to describe it.
Like, did you think it was like off key or?
Yeah, something was off, like shoes that are too big on a clown's feet and how they slap. It was like that. Like the song kind of like did that. Where it was a little bit sloppy, but I liked it.
Interesting. Would Ron rather play a guitar or a woman? Oh, guitar. Obviously, you don't want to play your woman. That's not good. Who wants to play their woman?
I do understand what your question was, though, Amy.
What? There's a different.
I also had the question. Well,
huh? What?
Moving right along. I stayed in too long, but she was the perfect fit, and we dragged it out so long this time, started to make each other sick. Okay, I thought they were talking about sex at this point, but then like it was too long, and then they started making each other sick. I started getting lost.
All the guitarists are saying guitar in answer to that question.
What?
All the guitarists are saying guitar in answer to that question. So there you go. That's the answer to the question. That's good. Back me up, fellas. All right, go ahead.
So what are they talking about? Because like I said, I thought that we were talking about sex here.
Now that he's now that we've got the context, he's walking around. So he basically came up with the landscape of the song sonically, and then he's walking around Tampa at night. I'm presuming, and these are the lyrics that are coming to him. Your attention, please. Now turn off the light. Your infection, please. I haven't got all night, which is really interesting because when you say attention, please, you want to get all the focus on yourself. But then he says, now turn off the light. So he's like, I want you to pay attention to me long enough for you to turn off the light, which I'm assuming is going to be some interaction with a female that's kind of sleazy because the song is kind of sleazy, right?
Why does he say your infection?
Right.
Please.
Because I mean they're rock stars, so you meet these women. I mean they all of them probably are. You can't live that kind of lifestyle and
Oh, okay.
Understand? Do you understand? I'm a gentleman. Maybe this is about a guy who's like buying a girl for a night or whatever. but he wants to convince himself that he's a gentleman. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could still go to your original thought that it's a band person with the groupie, with a groupie.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, you could still want to convince yourself that you're a gentleman, even though it's just slam bam, thank you, ma'am. What? Honestly, that's what somebody said to me years ago, and it was the most disgusting thing. They were, it was for my previous marriage. They were trying to advise us, like, what makes it for a great marriage, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they were saying, like, always make time to, light the candles or whatever, because it can just become slam bam, thank you, ma'am, and that's all it is. It was I was like, ah!
It's very romantic. Very
No,
romantic.
it was the woman saying that, too.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Shout out to. Ugh.
So I say, is that what it's talking about? So he starts having sex with her, but she feels so good. He stayed inside.
He's worried about infections. He stayed in too long, and she was a perfect fit, and we dragged it out so long this time. We started to make each other sick. So I don't know. Maybe she got pregnant in morning sickness, and then she passed her infection onto him. So they would both make each other sick. Or maybe they just exchanged diseases. Maybe he had gonorrhea and she had chlamydia, so they both made each other sick.
Okay.
But now I've got time for you. For you. You.
And me too.
We'll come and get it, because I'm done. Do you understand? I'm a gentleman. So I passed all these diseases to you, and I'm sure her retort would be, I'm a lady. And I wish Ian was here, because gentleman and lady are like British terms for like part of the court, part of the royalty. Right? Like lady, whatever her name was, and then, gentleman is it's a term of like you're part of the king's court. So when they say ladies and gentlemen, and the person says, I do use that term loosely, that's what they're saying. The guy's trying to convince himself that he's better than he is. Why do you need to keep affirming that you're a gentleman? That's an interesting thing to me. Like, why do you have to keep saying that? Like, if you truly believe that you are what you say you are, you generally very rarely have to affirm it. Like, if you're a leader, everybody knows you're a leader, and you don't have to tell people you're a leader.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so anytime somebody's like repeatedly saying, I'm this, I'm that, it's like, I don't know, man. Do you really think you are? Or, and it seems to me that, say what you want. You could say it's the imprint or the residual cognitive effects of living in a Christian Seats and Laban, but I remember one time I was hanging out with this kid, and we kind of had like a discipleship relationship. He was kind of lost a little bit, and I was kind of showing the homie the way a little bit. And shout out to Doe, because subhanAllah, he got accepted into Harvard, Yale, Princeton, like no joke. The kid lived like,
oh really?
Yeah, 2 blocks. He used to play basketball with Lee
good
Bennett.
for him.
He used to play basketball with Lee Ben and them. He was terrible though, because Doe. We used to call him Doe Boy, because he was just he was kind of chubby. But anyway, but he's guys, he's in Harvard, so he's a really successful kid now. But he used to talk to me about watching stuff on this computer or whatever, and one day he said, yeah, I just feel really just, he was a Muslim. He says, I feel really, dirty or whatever. And I said, is there anything in your deen that's against that? And he didn't really know his Islam very well, like most American Muslims. So he's like, oh, really? But I was like, but how do you feel like right after? And he goes, oh, yeah, I feel terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I feel grimy. And that's when he said to me, am I dead? Because we're talking about spiritual life and spiritual death and all that. And I said, well, you're not doing that because doing that didn't kill you. You're doing that because you're dead already. It's because you're dead that you have to use that to survive. But then after that, it kills you again. So that's the other side of this stuff, is that you get caught in these cycles, and it looks to me like he just feels really slimy. And so he has to keep reaffirming to her that he's a gentleman. Let me in, I'm cold, all messed up and nowhere to go. You got indecision, and indecision is my enemy. Well, unlock the cabinet. Hey. I'll take whatever you got. Now I'm on it, and you're done. I waited for the joke. It never did arrive, and words I thought I'd choke, I hardly recognize.
So he wanted her to open what, the medicine cabinet?
I think he's using metaphors for, coitus.
Oh.
That's what I think is occurring.
Okay.
So
I'll take whatever you got.
yeah, so now he's at this place where he just feels really grimy and sleazy. That's what it looks like to me. But now he can't get away from
So when he
cycle.
says words I thought I'd choke, I hardly recognize.
Mm-hmm.
So what, he's able to say things he didn't think that he would be able to say. He thought he'd have to choke those words back.
Right.
But instead he's saying them, but he doesn't even recognize himself.
Correct. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me, dear listener.
That's messy. Yeah, I was thinking about this girl the other day. Years ago, I hung out with her before. I hadn't really experienced a whole lot of hardships, I guess you could say. It was just more living underneath like strict rules and systems, which is difficult in and of itself. But she had been through some difficulties, and when her and I would go out together, she was like, "Oh, she's like, Sori, I just love hanging out with you so much because the fun is always just so clean." And I didn't understand what she really meant. I like knew that was a good positive thing, but I didn't understand like what she meant when she said it. And now it makes sense to me. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. What do you get the song?
9.4. I liked this one. Again, like I said, I liked the sloppiness of it.
It's a very interesting album cover.
Yeah.
It's a little boy with his
It looks like it's his sister laying on the bed looking at him, but he looks troubled. And so it's probably not his sister. It's probably that.
Yeah.
Because there's this, you grow up, but you still can feel very young inside. And
right.
So I think, sometimes it's the little boy or the little girl inside of us that's the one that's like,
yeah.
Yo.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like both of them, he's recognizing her inner child and his inner,
Yeah.
If you fast forward this 20 years, you would assume something about these two.
Yeah,
right?
you wouldn't say brother and sister like I said.
But it's kind of a provocative thing because it's kids. But I get what he's saying because they're, he still feels lost like a child or whatever after whatever is what it seems like to me. Mm-hmm. But extremely provocative picture for sure. What did you give it?
9.4.
Solid 9 for me. Solid 9 for me. There you are, dear listener. Having said that, Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.